Keeping it simple. Trying to complicate this deal is simply creative avoidance. Success is more likely when both the goal and the plan to attain it are clear and specific. Have you ever tried to follow the directions that came packaged with a piece of furniture you bought at IKEA? How long did it take you to figure it out? Were you left thinking that there had to be an easier way? Does your brain hurt yet? Complicated is exhausting. Simplicity, defined as having the condition or state of being that is easy to understand or do, just makes sense, especially when you expect to have the energy level it takes to build a new habit. Sometimes simplicity gets confused with stupidity, but as much as it might be tempting to do so, simplicity is the absence of complexity, not the absence of intelligence. I make this point in order to avoid confusion, which, as it turns out, is often what results from something made to be more complicated than it needs to be. A complicated or unclear goal is not just difficult to work with, it also provides a ready-made reason to quit for those who are committophobic, people who have trouble enough with change, let alone the demands of replacing a habit. The temptation exists for some of us to make the process of achieving a goal more difficult than it actually is or needs to be, so that doing nothing becomes an easier outcome to digest. Put another way, we are more receptive to changing our behavior and more likely to attain success when our goals and actions are simple, specific, and very clear. Enough said. Let's take a closer look at the advantages in keeping things simple. Imagine if you tried to quench your thirst by taking a drink from a fire hose. You might succeed in nearly drowning yourself, but little else. A fire hose is clearly too much for the goal. Break it down into something simple instead. Try manageable, reasonable steps like finding a faucet and fill up a cup. Now the odds shift in your favor that you will achieve a satisfying drink of water. I've chosen an extreme example to point out an important idea, that you can break down a major task into manageable chunks that allow you to successfully take on an otherwise overwhelming challenge. You have effectively turned a big problem into a series of small hurdles. There's a clear advantage to working with several simple targets spread over a period of time rather than attempting one gigantic goal at once. From your current perspective relative to that single huge goal, you may have to make an equal huge leap, a leap that puts you at a high risk of failing. Why make things harder on yourself than they have to be? Keep it simple. Break down a complex goal into smaller, more manageable chunks that reward you sooner and lessen the chance of defeat. Remember, every time you establish a new behavior that replaces an old one, the new builds on the progress of the old one before, making it easier for you to change the next behavior. If you make a mistake along the way, don't worry, it's a shorter fall. Get up and try again. It's easy to get caught up in the business of living, nerves frazzled by competing obligations and endless to-do list. Add to the mix one or two unexpected emergencies. But let's face it, for some people, the drama of an occasional emergency is all the excitement they get, and you will convince yourself that your bad habits really aren't that bad. Just keep doing things the same way as before and hang on to the hope for a different, better outcome. Right? Wrong. Oh, sure, you can convince yourself that you don't have any harmful habits, at least for today. Trust me, they'll be there ready to take over when your guard is down. Bad habits will trip you up and snag your dreams, and you won't even know it until after the dust has cleared. You deserve better. Don't hold yourself down or invite a dead-end struggle by complicating things. Here's a short list of tips to help you keep the journey simple. The short list. 1. Focus on progress, not perfection. 2. Take progressive steps. Measure today's success against yesterday's performance rather than tomorrow's goal. 3. Failure is a signal to work harder and smarter, not an excuse to give up. 4. Break it down. Turn one complicated goal into a series of smaller, achievable goals. 5. Small changes add up to big results. Each day is a new opportunity to renew your commitment, to build on your success, to lose the need to hang up on yesterday's issues. Keep it simple, and each day will get easier than the last. Imagine waking up every morning to the clean slate with the freedom to go in any direction you please. This is your day. What you make of it is up to you. This should be easy to understand. There are no bonus points awarded for overcomplicating things. Have you ever received a failing grade in school because your report needed to be more complicated? Probably not. How about a boss who demanded that there be more noise and confusion in the office? Not very likely. Keep it simple. Make this the principle that organizes your day. A few key ideas. Responsibility. Take responsibility for your thoughts, word, and actions. The whole sentence is really a decision in disguise. It's your choice. When you wake up in the morning, what are you going to think about? What actions are you going to take? Positive thoughts and positive actions. Make the effort until positivity becomes natural and automatic. Belief. Commit to your goal. Say it out loud with positive conviction. If you want to lose 25 pounds, tell yourself at least a few times a day, I weigh 25 pounds less. If your occupation is in sales and you want to close 50 deals, make it a daily affirmation. I close 50 deals. If you want to earn $200,000, same thing. I earn $200,000 a year. By the way, don't neglect your mental GPS. Be sure of your destination and how you plan to get there. Consistency. Make your daily actions consistent with your goals. Every day you have two choices. You can use your energy to do your job and feel great about it, or you can use your energy to kick the crap out of yourself and feel miserable with guilt for not doing your job. You are smart. If you are being consistent, you know it, and even if it's natural to be tough on yourself, stop it this instant. Take it one day at a time. Yesterday was good for its education value and tomorrow may never come. Make the most of today's activities. Focus. Emphasize the process rather than the outcome and success will take care of itself. If you choose to focus on the outcome instead, you are either complacent, desperate, or overly competitive. A more productive approach is to focus on the process, measuring your progress by comparison of your performance over time. Competition becomes uplifting and fun when it takes the form of a challenge, not a smackdown. It's simple. Believe in the process and the goals you have committed to. Mind control. Realize you can't control everything that happens around you. You can only control you. This one is really tough. Keep the blinders on when it comes to the distraction of negative noise. Turn down the volume. Never stop working on your mental skills. Read, or listen to audiobooks. Always have one of these going in your car. Make this one of your top priorities. Practice. Much like my advice for reading, you have to practice, and practice some more. You have to keep it up every day until you've mastered the action, and it doesn't stop there. In order to keep the skill at its peak or maintain a habit, yes, even habits need maintenance, continue to practice on a daily basis. Lifelong learning. Learn something new each day. Fearlessly explore new ideas and opposing views. Cultivate an open mind and the whole world will be yours. Learn a new, more productive habit in place of the old negative ones. Success. This is not some random event that with any luck will happen to you, or not. If this were true, you might as well be waiting around for never. Success is something you plan for and build on every day through your actions and thoughts. Creative avoidance. As you can see, there is nothing inherently complicated about being successful, and trying to make it that way is simply a creative avoidance activity. In other words, you are the one causing the distraction that is preventing your progress in the direction you say you want to go. Seriously, stop getting in your own way. Once you make the decision and the commitment, it's time to act. If that action results in initial fail, it's okay, fail forward. There is no such thing as absolute perfection. Set your aim high for progress. Learning a new way of thinking or acting and unlearning an old pattern is just as challenging as it is exciting, but it should never be complicated. Habit replacement therapy seeks to make these changes easier so that success is a natural outcome. Whether your goal is to break a bad habit, to build a new one, or to accomplish both, the process can be summarized in 3 simple words: plan, prepare, practice. Everything else is an elaboration of these 3 core principles. When you make a decision and commit to a plan, take steps to prepare and then implement the consistent actions that put your plan in motion. You will have a unique system to maximize your potential as well as your success. Keep it simple.